Hello, welcome to Take 5.
Yes, it's another Monday morning or afternoon or evening, whenever you're watching this. So we're just starting the week again with another Take 5, and we have returned, if you remember, a very long time ago. When was it?
It was back in March. We started Zechariah.
And then...
And the marvellous Phil Coleman did chapters 1 to 7, almost the first half of Zechariah.
Yes, he did. And then we had a little break because we had our week of prayer and fasting.
That's
and
right.
Adam did a whole week in connection with the prayer and fasting, which was amazing. So now we've
Finally,
come back to Zechariah.
Only in July, but never mind, we're here.
Months later, we're back in Zechariah.
And we're looking at chapter 8. So Zechariah is an interesting book. He is a contemporary of Ezra. So the Jews have returned from exile to Israel, to the land, to Judah, in fact, to their land, and to Jerusalem. Zechariah's come with them, and he brings these prophecies in these chapters of his book, and some of them are really difficult to untangle and get your head around, and it's the whole nature of prophecy, really, where sometimes he's prophesying about the near future, sometimes it's about the medium-term future, and then sometimes it's about the long-term future, and sometimes it's all in the same few verses. So you have to pull it apart and look at it with wisdom and with the Holy Spirit to see where he is, what time he's speaking about. And of course, some of it applies in different aspects as well. But the first half has all been about encouraging the people, and because they're a bit disappointed, I guess.
Yeah, well, more than a bit, probably.
They've been back, the temple's been built, but the city is still pretty much in ruins.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
Yeah, the wall's not rebuilt, it's all a little bit...
Nehemiah has yet to...
come and do his thing with the wall.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not happened yet.
Rebuild the wall. And so, I guess as the people look around, the Jews that have returned from exiles, the remnant that were left there,
it must be a bit sad.
Yeah, especially with some of the stories they've heard.
Yeah.
So there is disappointment.
Yeah.
And this is a book of hope and a book of encouragement as Nehemiah looks forward to what God is going to do for his people. Did I say Nehemiah? Zechariah. This is the book we're looking at.
We're definitely in Zechariah.
Please keep up with us. And right at the beginning of this chapter, he talks about his jealousy. And it's a really interesting idea that our God is a jealous God, because often we associate jealousy with a very negative aspect of character,
we do.
Don't we?
It's not a characteristic that is, you normally say that you'd look on favourably.
No. And yet God says he is jealous for Zion, for the chosen city, for Jerusalem. And we can broaden that out today and say he's jealous for his church, he's jealous for his people. And that speaks of a very single-minded devotion that he has.
A passion.
Dedication even. For his people, for his church, for us. And to me, that is a great encouragement.
And there's some promises in here that he talks about in the sort of early verses of this chapter, when they talk about young men and women of ripe old age will sit on the streets of Jerusalem. The cities will be filled with boys and girls playing there. So the young and old will sit together in the streets together. And now at this moment, as Kevin just said, the walls are not rebuilt. There is no sort of safety. It's not a place where you would expect to see anybody.
They'd be somewhat vulnerable, wouldn't they?
In the streets. Never mind children and older men and women together. So, and the next verse, when it says, "It may seem marvellous to the remnant of the people at this time," so it must have seemed incredible to them, this promise that the young and the old are going to sit together on the streets in safety, and there will be joy. And they must have thought, gosh, we can't even begin to imagine what that looks like. And then it goes on to say it will not seem marvellous to God. So it might seem impossible for us sometimes, but with God all things are possible. God can do anything.
And that's the thing with the prophetic, isn't it? God sees what is going to be. what is going to happen, what's going to come to pass. And we may not see it right now. We may be struggling to hold on to something. But God's got it. He's got it in control. He's got it planned. He's got it destined. And this is the hope that Zechariah holds out to us today, as well as to the people of that time. So if you're struggling to hold on to something this morning, struggling to believe, struggling for encouragement, hold on to what God has promised in his word. There are many great and precious promises, and Zechariah speaks into those, doesn't he?
He does.
So have a great day, be encouraged, and we will see you tomorrow in Zechariah, not Nehemiah, chapter 9.
Yes, we'll be back tomorrow.
Bye for now.
Bye.